Hey, my name's Nick with Sunshine State RVs. We are the #1 Class B RV dealership in the state of Florida, and we're #2 in the whole nation. And my hands are freezing, so I'm not taking them out of my pocket today. It is stinking cold in the Sunshine State, but guess what? The videos cannot stop. The people want what they want. And I'm really excited today to tell you about a brand new van we are carrying here at Sunshine State RVs. We have been working on this for about 6 months now, and we're finally at the point that we are ready to make the big announcement that we are going to be carrying Outside Van. They are a custom builder out of Portland, Oregon that has recently been acquired by Fox Performance, Fox Shocks, you know, the big conglomerate of Fox Factory. They own so much cool stuff, and now they are in the Class B space, and they partnered with a great company, Outside Vans, out of Portland, that has been making these vans for over 20 years. Fox has been in business. I remember as a kid riding Fox dirt bikes and Fox Shocks on everything. So Fox has the name, Outside Van has the van, and they are collaborating together to make one heck of an adventure van. What we're gonna be talking about today is the brand new Syncline. They have totally revamped it for 2026. There's also a Parks behind me that has also been revamped for 2026. Lots of new features, quality options, but the same great quality and build that they've been building for the last 20 years. So Outside Vans is new to me. I've just really been learning. I went through an all-day training yesterday, so a lot of this stuff should be fresh in my mind, and I wanted to do these videos today so that way I can regurgitate all the information I learned yesterday. But I have been up and I've seen a lot of, well, look at this, my hand's already coming out, it's cold. I have seen a lot of what they're doing. I'm excited about where they're going. I'm excited about all the new advancements and all that. So let's dive right into it, come on. The Syncline is the 19-foot 144 chassis, and if you look at this thing, it's beautiful, right? It is sharp, it has the wheels, it has the suspension, it has the running boards, the roof racks, the boxes, the graphics. This is their top of the line on the 144. They do make 5 different levels of suspension. They come stock, and they make 4 other ones. This one is the Performance Elite package. This is one underneath their top racing package. Performance Elite is for when you are needing suspension that can really take you anywhere. They redo the leaf springs on the back. They have a 4-point adjustable suspension all the way through, where you can go from 0 to 10 and you just get out, twist it on all 4 of them. I am not a suspension junkie to where I don't know, I'm not a gearhead, so I don't know all of those details, but their Performance Elite is their 2nd tier suspension. Their top one is their racing suspension. I've driven in one of those racing suspension trucks, and man, it is absolutely insane. But you have the Fox suspension, you have the adjustable, you got the coils here, you also have the extra leaf springs in the back, and it can be if you're going real fast, if you're going slow, if you're doing like big stuff, if you're climbing. All of this is put into this van. Fox has been developing this product for years, and it can go in any van, but this is specifically made for this 19-foot Outside Van. So Syncline, and I mean, not to mention, check out this graphic on here. How cool is that, right? So Syncline is their 19-foot version. These wheels are a wheel that they make themselves. It is a 3-piece wheel, and what's cool is these are actual bolts here that can come off, and then you can take this ring off, you can paint it, you can stain it, you can powder coat it. But the real reason they do that is so that way when you curb rash it, because you're driving through all the rocks in the rough terrain, you can just swap it out or you can fix it. So they kind of put that on there to protect the actual wheel itself. That's like a protector for the wheel. These are the BF Goodrich KO3 tires, which are the new version to the KO2s. These are power running boards. Right now they are down, but when you shut it, they should go up. There you go. They go up and down, which is great because when you are adventuring in this adventure van or overlanding in the Overland van, the running board coming up saves you some of that clearance. And when you open the door, they drop pretty quick, and it gives you a bigger space. So it's a bigger running board. I really like that. I haven't seen that a lot on these adventure vans. I think it's something pretty cool. I also like the graphics they do down here, which are nice. They really go above and beyond when it comes to a lot of this stuff. the more I've learned, the more I've really appreciated what Outside Van is doing. So they do double up the leaf springs on here. They also give you the adjustable suspension right back here. So the suspension, from what I've learned, is depending on how fast you're gonna be going over the bumps. So the faster you're gonna go, the more you wanna turn it up. The slower you're gonna go, the more you wanna turn it down. And then you can turn it down for highway speeds and all that. Just make sure all 4 of the adjustments are on the same setting, if that makes sense. So all of that has been upgraded. So here is the Fox factory vehicles. So all of their vans have the Fox factory. We have the Approach right next to us here. And this also has the Fox factory. This is their 170 standard, which is 22 feet on the single wheel. So I'm gonna be doing a video on this one next, but I just thought having them both in here can really show you some of the variety of what they do. So they also give you this bump out here, and this gives you some extra room in the back for when you're sleeping. You can sleep side to side. I'm 6 foot tall, and I fit perfectly comfortable in there. Something that I learned yesterday, actually, while I was doing this training, was that everything, all of this metal work on here, they make themselves in their factory. They don't just buy it and order it from somebody else, and they don't know the integrity, they don't know how strong it is. They actually make everything themselves specifically for their vans. So they are custom making this box and this molly panel and this, I don't even know what that's called, the thing that the box sets on, and this one here. So all of this is made specifically for them. And what's nice is this box opens up so that way it drops it down, and you can put a grill on here, you can use it. There's also a big shelf in here, and there's these molly panels here, so that way you can move this shelf. So this is a big 3-inch shelf here that you can adjust and put it anywhere you want. So depending on what you're doing, I mean, that's a pretty nice thick shelf. So you can take this shelf and you can put it anywhere in here. So that way, let's see there, look at that, there it is. So depending on what you're doing and what you need to store, you can move it. So you can leave it there and put big stuff there, or very easily, you can move it there, put it there. So this all works very easily. And like I said, they made it all themselves. So everything is made to their quality. So when you trust the brand, I mean, you go all in with it, right? So this is all made to their quality, to their standard. And this is cool because you can use bungee cords, you can use molly panels, you can use whatever you need. So they want to give you everything you got there. This box can also be moved up, it can be moved down. You can have 2 boxes. This is their spare tire. You can do a lot with this. There's also a factory spare. So underneath you have a spare, and you have a spare here. The guy yesterday told me if you have 1, you have none. If you have 2, you have 1. And he told me I wouldn't get it, so I don't really get it. But if you have 1, you have none. If you have 2, you have 1. So right now you have 2 spares. So in his mind, that was only 1. So something like that. Something that I noticed right away that I questioned, why are there no rear windows? So if you look at this, you look at the Approach van there, you can also see there's no rear windows there. And I was like, that's not God, my hands are freezing. That's not typical to not have no rear windows. And he said, Nick, that's done on purpose. I said, really? He says, yeah. He said, the new chassis have a full-time camera that you can watch out the back, so you can always see out the back. He said, and we're trying to really make these 4 seasons. We're based in Portland, Oregon. So up in Portland, we have to be ready for the winters. Like, this is not winter. He was in shorts and a t-shirt yesterday here in Gainesville. He's like, this is not winter here. What we deal with up there is winter. And he says, the way that we can insulate the back, when you're sleeping right next to this, the last thing you want are windows, because the windows let the cold air in and it doesn't do it. We can put more insulation behind this panel door without a window, so that way when you're sleeping, it is a better insulated doors, 3M insulation on the entire coach. It is better insulated doors, and it's better protective if you're driving, if you're backing up and you got branches behind you or something, they're not cracking your windows. And I can tell you from experience, I've done that. I've backed up and I just didn't see a branch and it pierced right through a rear window on an RV. And I was like, you know, that is very logical to do it. Now, am I against having windows in the back? No, but his explanation convinced me of why they don't have windows. I'm like, huh, that's very interesting. Now, I like to see out the windows, so there are side windows. You could open the 2 back doors, which are nice, but I like the idea of having, I don't mind the idea of having no back windows. Should I open the back here? We can kind of, so opening the back here, you can really see what they're doing. So one of the things about these adventure vans are that the back is really used a lot. It's not just the back, you know, or like your trunk that you don't use a lot. This is actually a lot of why you have this van and a lot of what you use it for. So first they give you this big double step that does not interfere with the tow package. Just can't tow 5,000 pounds. Then they also give you this air compressor gauge right here. So there's one here, there's one in the front, and there's one by the side running board. So there's three spots that you can quick connect on here, and pretty awesome, and I'll show you when we walk around, every tire has 2 air straighter valves. One of them is for a quick release and quick deflate and inflate, and one of them is the normal one that's hooked to the TPMS. So they give you both of those, which is pretty neat. And as you can tell, without windows, they give you these nice MOLLE panels, so that way you can store stuff on them. So it does, in a 19-foot RV, you want as much storage as possible. So they give you the insulation here, they give you, you know, bags that they make as well, and then they have these MOLLE panels that they make specifically for this area that they do it. They also have an Alpine stereo system, so there's an 8-inch subwoofer in there. There's Alpine speakers in the back and Alpine speakers on the dash by the windshield, so great sound system. So on one side here, you have all of your electrical, so you have a Lithionics lithium battery system. And then on the other side, you have your water tank, and this is where you would take your shower head. You would hook your shower up here, you have hot and cold water, and you can shower out here. A lot of people prefer to do that. You know, in the bathing suit, they just shower out here and they don't use the shower in the RV. It is, you know, in an adventure van this size, it's not like your traditional RV shower, and I'll show you about that in a minute. But this outside shower probably gets more usage than the inside shower does in a lot of these vans. I love the flooring and all this they give you. Now this, obviously you can change this and you can mount stuff to it. You can use this however you want, but I like how they give you access to your fuses here. You have 110 plugs, you have USB, USB-C, you have all of your lights, your gear light, your ceiling light, all that can be on or off. Your air compressor power, which your air compressor's there. On here, they also give you access to your water pump and inside of there, so that way you can do it. And look how thick this is. I mean, this is some really thick, heavy duty marine grade plywood as well. And then, so you see this big black strip here, right? When you're putting stuff in and out, that's great because it protects whatever you're sliding. But when you need to latch something down, this covers the latch system here, and the latches are on the ceiling on both sides there and here, to where dust and dirt doesn't get in it. It doesn't scratch whatever you're sliding in and out. If it's luggage, if it's a camera Pelican case, if it's something flat, let's say it's a piece of plywood, whatever it is, you're sliding in and out, it's not getting caught on here and scratching it because they have this rubber threshold looking material on here that protects it. So there's one there and one up there as well. So when I first saw that, I was like, huh, I wonder why they put these black joints on the floor. And then when the guy lifted it, I was like, well, that's why. That's actually pretty smart to do. Something else you notice, and I'll touch on this more when we get inside, there's no leg for the bed. So, which is really nice. There's no hole in here where you got to find it to put the bed down. The bed just drops down. And when the bed is down, you have all of this area here for storage. I'm actually going to lower it and just show you real quick, just so you can see how much storage you have from the outside. So very easy to lower the bed, and I'll lower all the cushions in a minute. But this is with the bed lowered. So with it lowered, you have a lot of space in here for storage. So mountain bikes, e-bikes, skateboards, one wheels. Ooh, that startled me. All of that is there to where you have all that space to store it, even with the bed down while you're sleeping. You know, dogs can sleep down here, cats, you can put a bird cage. You can, I mean, stand-up paddle boards with the air compressor here. You can inflate them, you can deflate them, you can store them in here. I mean, the possibilities are endless. And I know this because everyone camps differently, right? I got 4 kids, and I love camping with them. I love going out. I love doing things with them. Obviously, this would not be the van that I can camp in with 4 kids, but I camp different than you camp, which camps different than Tim, our camera guy, would camp. So everybody camps a little different. So you need different types of storage and bedding situations and insulation and weatherproofing and showers. So this is gonna fit a very specific type of camping, a very specific type of overlanding or adventuring, but whatever it is, there's a lot of storage here for that as well. So let's keep rolling around the van and I'll show you. I love that. So as we're walking around some more, traditional smart plug, which is what most of our RVs have. You have your bump out windows here. You do have a water fill here and a, what is that? Some other kind of water thing there. I don't know what it is. A water fill and some other type of water thing there. As we're going, you can see the suspension. I actually drove this yesterday off-road a little bit and I was doing some jumps. I went through a ditch and all that. And this thing performed very, very well, which was cool. I do like the ladder. So they got a ladder and roof rack. This whole thing is custom made by them. So this isn't something that they just order and slap on. They actually make it to fit this exact van. So this isn't something that is an afterthought. They designed a ladder to go on their van, which is nice. So it gets you up there, and then once you're up there, you see there are those braces there. So those can be moved back and forth just by unbolting them and moving them, depending on what you're storing up there. There are mounts up there for Pelican cases. There's mounts up there for surfboards, for skis, for a lot of different types of storage cases. There's mounts, there's straps, there's places to hook things down. I mean, the roof is very cool as you're gonna see in this video. You'll see, Tim will show you the whole roof. There are LED lights up there as well, all the way around, on the passenger side, on the rear, on the front, there's that big light strip. So there's a lot going on up there that makes it usable for depending on what you're gonna use it for. Even if you wanna go watch a NASCAR race, you wanna sit on top so you can see it, you can do that as well. There's an area to sit on top. You know, as we're circling back around, obviously the suspension is very impressive. You have your high performance LED headlights. You have these rigid lights here that are mounted on a bracket. These lights are actually DOT approved to be on while you're driving down the road because of how low they are. That 50-inch light bar up top is not allowed to be driving while you're driving down a normal road. That is for when you are adventuring. We can add more lights. Obviously, we've added lights up here. We've added more lights in the grill. We do a lot of that work at Sunshine. We've also added lights up here too. Depending on what you're gonna be doing and where you're gonna be doing it at, we can modify these. This is very, very capable, but just like we all know, there's always more you can do and always more you can add. So let's jump inside and continue showing you why this is made for you to take your next adventure in. So Outside Van does a great job of bringing the inside of the van outside and kind of combining the two of them together. This is pretty awesome here, how they have this table here that latches in. It's very thin and up against here, but once it's out, it does a lot. It's very sturdy. And this is another example of they made this metal table to fit exactly here where they wanted it. You have a 110 plug right here. You got this table here. You can put a speaker on. You can put a little cooktop on it. You can put a blender for a margarita mixer. I mean, lots of cool things you can put here, or you can even put a TV here and you can sit outside and be hanging out watching. I mean, the TV watching the openness back and forth. So I really like how they did this. It's easy to open and close, easy to use, just like that, the 110 plug. But check this out. This is what they call their water box. And so, and by the way, they custom make all of these cushions, all of this material. It's all waterproof, water resistant, and very, very durable. So this is what they call their water box here, and there's a lot to it. So I'm gonna show you a bunch that they have. So first off, they have their toilet in here. So this is a Dometic porta potty. So if you were gonna use the toilet in the RV, obviously you'd probably wanna shut the door, but this is one way you can use the toilet. You're just sitting on the toilet here, hanging out, you got plenty of room. Obviously you'll want some privacy, but this is the toilet. And then when you take it out, there is a cassette toilet. You would go dump it wherever you want to dump it. Something else that they do in here, this is the power cord and all that. This is a waterproof metal box. So this is where you would take your shower. Like I said, outside shower, there is a hot and cold water there, so you can't take a shower outside. But here, the shower curtain hooks from the hooks here, it comes down and the hose is here, and you can shower right here, which is a nice big shower area. You have a lot of room here that you can shower. It's hot and cold water there, by the way. And there's a place up there to hang the shower head, so you don't have to hold it the whole time. Something else that's cool is you can fill this with ice, fill it with Cokes, beer, Capri Suns, whatever you want to do. And you can be hanging out, having your cooler right there. This is metal, and there is a drain in there. So if you did fill it with ice and you wanted to use it as a cooler, as the ice melts, it melts right into the gray tank. So you don't have to get it out. The ice will all just melt. Let's say you're going fishing and you're on the side of a creek and you're fishing, you catch a fish, you can take the fish and you can put it on ice right there. And then later on, you can take it off ice, you can fillet it right here, and you can grill it. So without carrying a cooler around, this can act as a cooler. And this is all metal that they made specifically for this area. So this Outside Van is slam full with technology and quality. So this does have the Garmin system. So there's a Garmin screen here. This one actually mounts right here, so you can use it when you're up front hanging out. You pull it off. This is where you can control your water, control your gray water. You see how much you have left, your chassis battery, temperatures. And I know it says it's 54 degrees outside and I'm freezing. It feels like 34 outside right now. You have your lights, side lights, your fan, and then you can go light by light. You can do your temperature. You can do all your power. This does have Lithionics lithium. It has a 16.8 kW watt system. It has a 3000 watt inverter. It has 140 watts of solar on the roof. It has a high output alternator. And then everything is on here. So you have your exterior lights. You also control the LED light bar and the lights there. You control all of that here, along with the air compressor. You can turn that on or off. You can turn the fog lights on and off. You can turn the 50-inch light bar on top on and off, the back lights. I mean, all of that is controlled here. Typically, all of that's controlled separately, but Outside Van has got it into their Garmin system to control it, which is pretty amazing. I love that about it. Lagun table. I like this wood in here. So all of the wood, all of the cabinetry is custom made, handmade at the Outside Van factory. So all of this wood here is all handmade at their factory, hardwood. This laminate is specifically for this sink line here. It's all dovetail drawers. This is your induction cooktop. So when you do want to cook, you pull it out, you cook, and you can put it back in. If you don't cook, you can just leave it at home. But everything is also soft closing, which is very nice, and locking. You have your isotherm fridge and freezer, which is a real high-end fridge and freezer. And then you have lots of storage here as well. You have storage there. And I like how they even bring that laminate into the cabinets there too. So very high quality. And all of this is all soft closing. So nothing's in the slam. The construction of the Outside Van is very different than a lot of the other ones because there is a galvanized steel shell that is attached, riveted like an airplane rivet system to this van. So all of this is attached to that galvanized steel, so that way nothing shakes and nothing moves, and it lasts over time. So all of this here is attached right to that galvanized steel, so everything is soft closing. You do have a microwave, so the freshwater is a 20-gallon system. It has a diesel heat hydronic system. The rooftop air conditioner is a 48 volt air conditioner, so that can be used while you're driving down the road. You don't even have to have the inverter on to use it because it's a 48 volt system. Everything is very much connected together with the Garmin. And then you have the bigger Garmin set up here. This is the main panel where you can control everything, just like I talked about before. You can add stuff to it, you can take stuff away, so a lot of it. So I really like this countertop. It's like a slate type of countertop along with this big, huge rectangle sink. And then these double as cutting board. So if you did want to cook a dinner, you know, I've started cooking recently. I have 4 kids. They are now 21, 19, 16, and 15. And they all 4 have their own busy lives. So I get home from work at 5 o'clock and I look around, it's me and my wife, and my kids are doing their own thing. And so I don't just sit around very well. I got a lot of energy. I need to have a purpose and direction and all that. And so I started going to the store every day, buying dinner and cooking it. So I love the idea of having a big sink to wash my vegetables in, having a cutting board to cut my steak. I've also been doing a paleo diet, which is meat, veggies, and fruit. And so I have to get very creative. ChatGPT has helped give me some good recipes about how to be creative, but I can definitely see myself traveling in a van, going to Whole Foods or to Publix or whatever it is I go, buy the food for the day, bring it here, prepare it here, and then cook it outside. My wife likes me cooking outside and then serving it. For the last 22 years of our marriage, my wife has done all of the cooking, and so she is really enjoying this new break, she tells me, which is cool. So a nice little seat right here. This is cool just to hang out. You can prop your feet. Both of those seats there can also swivel around and you can hang out there. Outside Van actually does a good job. Sorry, I'm bouncing back up front for a second here. Outside Van does a good job of upgrading this seat and adding cushion in there, making it a softer leather and making it look like it matches. They don't just leave the Mercedes part of it. They actually upgrade everything on here. This is a high output 4-cylinder all-wheel drive Mercedes engine with the adaptive cruise, power seats, heated seats, all the safety features, full-time camera on the rear view mirror, navigation, the big screen, everything that Mercedes has, this bad boy has. Okay, so earlier I was talking about the storage here. So you can see you can access the storage when you're in here, when you're sitting here, when you're sitting there. This actually turns into a big area. You can also sit here. I know I'm moving around a lot, I'm sorry, but I just want to show everybody. So you can have a 2-person dinner right here, which is very nice. You can lower this, you can move it out of the way. You can also turn this into a lounge. So if you move this and this, and you flip this up just like this here, flip this up just like that. This will go right here, maybe. That will go there, and this will go right there. And now you got a nice little lounge area and a Lagun table. So my wife can be sleeping here. I can be hanging out here. I like getting up a little early, drinking my coffee, reading my Bible, hanging out, catching up on the Florida Gators news for the day. We got a new football coach recently, which was very cool. But this is just a great area to hang out, and people can be sleeping here, hanging out, or I'm moving around a lot. If, let's say you have a beautiful scenery here and you wanted to hang out just like this, this is a great little area too to be nice and cozy in here and hang out. Someone can be there, you can be here, and you can just be chatting, talking, lounging. So I really like this lounge area. I like how I can see out the big door. I can put the screen down and I can see a lot. So I like what they've done with the space. I like how open it is, but I like how it can be as flexible for you as you want also. So let's make this back up. I'm gonna show you the bed area. How's that? Something like that, right? Maybe there. You got buttons. So what's cool is you have the Garmin that can control everything. You also have buttons here that you can control everything as well. So depending on what you were trying to do, the buttons here can do it or the Garmin can do it. So this is the bed. Like I mentioned earlier, and I showed you, this is just a one drop bed. So there's no legs, there's nothing to hold and support. It's all there. Once you're in the bed, it's actually pretty big. So I am 6 foot tall and I can fit in the bed very comfortably. There's room here. There's a little room at my feet. I mean, nobody sleeps like a mummy, but if you did sleep like a mummy, you could sleep very easily here. You could turn that off, turn it on. You can control it here, or control it from the Garmin, or control it from your phone, whatever is easier for you. You can also sit up. You can move this around. I like these. So there's your windows. Outside Van makes these magnetic window covers that are insulated and weatherproof. This is meant to be a 4 seasons van, so you can camp in it all 4 seasons. So you have storage here. You also have storage here, which is really nice. There's a 110 plug here, and there's also USB here for like a CPAP machine or something if you needed it. And this is where your battery on and off switch is. There's also a port right here, so you can put Starlink on the ceiling and just run the wire right here, put the router in here and plug it in. So this is ready for whatever type of internet you want. If you want Starlink, it is very easy to install it. They do make back here, they make a soft bag storage system. So this is the L track that you can use here, and they make this soft bag storage system that you can easily put here if you want it. If you want nothing, you don't have to have anything, but this soft bag, so when you're sleeping at night, let's say, you know, you're sleeping and you get up, you don't want to bump your head, but if it's a soft bag, you know, you can just kind of hook it up. But there's a lot of options for things right here as well. So lots of cool things. I know this may look like there's a lot going on here, but you know, we will teach you how to do all of this that I'm doing right now. I got taught all this yesterday, and I don't want to say I'm a pro at it, but it's actually not hard to do. But we teach you how to do all of this stuff in Gainesville. So we fly you here, set everything up, pick you up at the airport, bring you here, teach you everything you want to know about the RV, spend as much time with you as you need going through this, and then we put you up at our campground for the first 2 nights. That way you can test everything and make sure you know how to work it, make sure everything works the way you want it to work. Then we give you tech support on the phone, or we give you a guaranteed service appointment within 5 days of you calling us. If you live within 100 miles, we valet it, so we pick it up from your house, bring it back to the dealership, work on it, and deliver it back to you, which is a pretty cool thing to do. There's something here I almost forgot. This is a nice storage area. So this is waterproof storage here that you can do. You can make it bigger, you can make it smaller, you can move it around. So it depends on what you're doing and what you're storing. This is a nice hidden storage compartment for you. You can also store stuff on here. And there's another table mount for the Lagun table right here. So you can use this differently if you want. So lots of flexibility back here as well. The L tracks, you can store it. You can go from here to there, and you can store things hanging. If you wanted to dry your laundry, you can go from there to there. You can dry laundry. You can store things on these molly racks here. There's also plugs here that you can store things. So I mean, I can have a 3-hour video about all of the cool stuff this thing can do, but I am gonna have to end this. So I hope you enjoyed this new Outside van. I hope that if you're looking for an overland van or an adventure van, that this is one that you will seriously consider. Between Outside Van and Fox Racing, Fox Shocks, Fox Performance, they have made a pretty awesome collaboration, and this Syncline is that collaboration. So we now have them at Sunshine State RVs, and we hope that this is on the top of your list.